What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Court of Capes, more specifically, MCU Case Files. Today, we, the judges, will be reviewing What If Episode 3, the animated series covering different MCU stories. Just a little change or some drastic changes on what could have happened in the MCU. Well, I am one of your judges, the Renegade, Joshua Shelton. Yes, right, I'm keeping my Diggum title. Alongside of me, we have the MCU conspiracy theorist, Judge Brown.
In the flesh.
We also have the showman, the conqueror, Judge Cooper.
Hello, Peter.
And last but not least, we have the Special Inquisitor, the young one, the Wanda Visionary, Anthony Cooper.
The Hulk is in the show.
Yeah, yes. Yes, he is. Anyways, before we get into our thoughts on episode 3, Judge Brown.
Ooh, is it time for a summary?
It is. Give us that synopsis, man. Show
Oh, man.
IMDb, Wikipedia, and Disney Plus how it's done.
Okay, I will keep this short and concise. Ladies and gentlemen, journey with me to an alternate universe where the Avengers do not in fact assemble, but one by one they are disassembled by a mysterious assailant who picks them off one at a time.
I like it. As usual. No All the While, though. Was there an All the While?
It was kind of linear.
Yeah.
There was no B storyline. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're right. There was no B storyline. It was very linear. Alright, so we got in episode 3. We got to see a lot of different new characters in the What If universe. And that was pretty cool. But the person I want to hear thoughts on first, Curtis. You've seen this episode twice, and you just watched it recently.
Yes, I have indeed. So, when I first watched this episode, I was like, okay, like, I enjoyed that existed. I enjoyed it a lot more the second time, just because, I watched it with my mother, and seeing her reactions to things was very entertaining.
True. Okay.
Because, like, this is literally, like, a murder mystery.
Facts.
I'm starting to, like, kind of settle into what to expect from What If, and that kind of excites me because I do think they're going to blow those expectations out of the water at some point. But as of now, I think that What If kind of has a ceiling for me where it's like, okay, like, all these episodes are going to be entertaining. None of them are necessarily, like, super emotionally resonant so far.
Yeah.
Because we're kind of, like, instanced into these, like, unique scenarios where, like, okay, we know the characters, but at the same time, there's not a whole lot of time for them to actually, like, grow. I think the episodes do a serviceable job, like, getting them to different places, but it's not like we get to see them grow over the course of, like, hours, like we have in the previous Disney Plus shows.
True.
But I really liked the central conceit of this episode. Like, oh yeah, it's basically a whodunit. And people are just dying, and, like, we get by far the most graphic thing we've seen so far with the Hulk freaking exploding.
Yeah.
That was wild. That was nasty.
That was absolutely wild.
Like, he freaking enlarged his heart, and then he just exploded. That's wild. But if I would say that upon a rewatch, I enjoyed this a little bit more in the first episode, but not as much as the second episode.
Okay. Anthony.
I really like this episode. I'm fresh off watching it. I felt like the pacing was a little, I wouldn't say slow, but, like, hard to keep my attention, I guess. Obviously, I didn't guess who it was who murdered all these boys.
Yeah.
But
I thought it was Hope herself.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would.
I thought it was going to be someone we haven't seen before, but as in What If, it's someone we've seen, but with a twist.
But with a twist.
Yeah.
I like that twist because it was a twist that also recalled to
Hank Pym becoming the Yellow Jacket in the comics.
Yeah,
So
that's so cool.
I thought that was a pretty fun twist.
That
I'm
was
glad they got what's his name to come back to voice him. That was fun.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas. But I mean, I felt like some of the deaths were like a little like, I don't think he would have died from that. Like Thor's death.
Yeah, that was a little hard to believe.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure how like thick Thor's skin is, but like I don't know if an arrow, like not even coming through the back of his heart of his chest would kill him.
Now,
So
was Thor depowered since he had been so long without Mjolnir? In this,
That's true. That's a good point.
I'm not sure how much of his physical strength comes from Mjolnir.
Yeah.
That's a question.
Yeah,
Is that
because
MCU?
that's kind
very-
of what Ragnarok was all about.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
I
feel
think
like
in terms of physical prowess, he's stronger than Loki, and Loki survived being smashed by Hulk. So
Yeah.
I mean,
now my memory might be failing me because it's been a decade since I watched this movie probably. But in the first Thor movie, didn't Odin act like Thor was stripped of all of his powers when he lost Mjolnir? At that point in time?
I think he was stripped of the ability to go back to Asgard
yeah, I think
and
it was,
the ability to wield Mjolnir. But that was
Okay.
about it.
I mean,
Because
he
he's
still
super
was like
strong.
clobbering those Agents of Shield dudes.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he's still
Okay.
Asgardian. It's like, it's different. So
Okay. Good to know.
Well, this is a different, I guess, universe. So maybe he's just not as strong.
we can just say multiverse for everything here.
Yeah, multiverse is just the new nanobytes, nanotechnology.
Oh,
It was nano. It was fine.
yeah.
It was just nanotechnology,
It's all good.
which was said in this episode.
Yeah. All right, JC. What about you? What do you think about this episode?
I love a good mystery. That's one of the reasons I like WandaVision so much, because it was basically a mystery more so than any other show
Correct.
the MCU's put out. It was fun. It was really cool. I think the biggest thing that frustrated me is that it's kind of a two-part thing. One part is that the mystery wasn't solvable. Like, they didn't set up clues or actually tease it out in any way, really. Except for just kind of like at the end, like giving a big clue and then just like shoving the answer in your face. Like 5 seconds came out. So that was kind of frustrating that we didn't have a chance to really solve it. And the second thing is that this episode, the premise or like the converging point from the main timeline wasn't really ever spelled out. Like in the first episode, Peggy stayed in the room. In the second episode, Yondu outsourced the capturing of Peter Quill. In this episode, we don't really understand what the thing to deviate was. Unless I'm,
Well, I mean, they explained it at the end. It was Hope joining Shield.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was her. Okay. So
Now, I do agree that they should have explained that more explicitly at the end, because obviously that would have spoiled it in the beginning. But
Right.
Yeah, they should have definitely been more clear about that.
Yeah, like we didn't really get the Watcher being like, yeah, and this is what changed the timeline forever. It wasn't the same way, at least.
I legit couldn't remember if Hope worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. or not, so I didn't even know if it was a twist. He seems like she would work for S.H.I.E.L.D., so...
It should have been explained a lot better.
Yeah, I agree.
But there was a lot of interesting shots from animation point of view. Like for instance, when it fades from Nick Fury to the Watcher. Do you remember that?
I like that.
That was cool.
That
We got
was
to
so
see
cool.
him, in the desert, right? That's when it was showing in the desert.
Because if anybody was going to be a watcher, it would be Nick Fury.
True. But he would. Could he hold himself from not intervening though?
100%.
Oh yeah.
He does not care.
Well, okay. So, I resonate with all of your guys' opinions, but I'm gonna level with you guys here. This was probably my least favorite What If episode.
You kind of forgot it existed.
Yeah, I did. I did. Like right before we started recording, I'm like, wait, there was a What If. Oh yeah, like it just didn't do it for me the whole time. I was like, okay, yeah, we got the mystery, like who's killing him, but like the end result to me wasn't that satisfying.
Why wasn't it satisfying?
I don't know that like that's a great question because like the Ant-Man becoming like the Wasp or like Hank Pym becoming the Wasp, that's a really cool thing. Um, and that
Yellow
whole
jacket.
that whole
The
action
yellow
scene.
jacket.
Sorry, that's what I meant. The yellow jacket. My gosh,
A lot of bugs out there.
There
a lot of
are.
bugs.
You're
There
the
are.
Ant-Man guy, Josh. You gotta know this.
I love the
That's
movies. Oh, I
true.
love the movies. I don't know why I said the Wasp because we got killer wasps out here.
They are both yellow.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's fair.
I couldn't tell you, but I thought that scene at the end involving Fury, Loki, and Hank Pym was really cool.
Yeah.
Like that whole segment going on between the two was really cool, and him getting confused. Um, it also makes sense that it was Loki there instead of Fury because he was literally able to see him at ant-sized form or bug-sized form
And just smack him
and
down.
just smack him down. And,
I know.
And nobody else could see it. So, yeah. But the deaths, like you brought up, the deaths didn't completely make sense. But yeah, it was kind of a fun episode in some ways, but in other ways I was just like, meh, this is there's a ceiling from what we've seen, I think, from episodes 1 and 2 and what they're trying to do. But I don't know about you guys, but I was kind of hoping for something a little more drastic. But they only have so much time as well per episode.
I think what they showed was drastic, but I don't think it was shown in a very like fun way. Like the events that happened, what sounds awesome on paper, but like the pacing and like what actually took place within those events was just kind of
All right. Like Loki taking over at the end, at the beginning of basically when Avengers would have started, is awesome.
Yeah.
But we kind of got it in a very slow and predictable way. It was just kind of fun on the way, but not like super engaging.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's a better assessment than what I said. Like it looks good on paper, but the way that they put it out there wasn't as good as probably as they thought it was going to be. But yeah, I hope they. Okay, so this is one thing that I have with What If, and Curtis mentioned the ceiling. So it seems that they're probably going to involve most of what happened in the MCU movies. So this to make this more related to the MCU itself. But before the show started, like I kind of somewhat expected like some of the characters we know to be involved in completely different stories that has never been on television before or in the movies. I guess I didn't do my research. If everyone,
I mean, I don't think they're all going to be based off movies because, like, Spider-Man freaking becomes Sorcerer Supreme in one of them.
Okay, so yeah, that one I'm looking forward to. Honestly, I could have all the episodes be Spider-Man so oriented some way, and I would be happy.
I'm on that train too.
Do you guys think that everything in like the poster is season 1, or do you think some of that's season 2?
Oh no, I think it's all season 1.
I agree.
Yeah.
How long is season 1?
10 episodes.
Okay. Yeah, we got time.
So
We got time.
30%.
You know, I've also
of the way
heard 9 episodes, so I don't know if it's 9 or 10.
Yeah, they're kind of vague about this stuff sometimes.
Strange.
there. It is strange.
Yep, I've become more and more on the train of like doing the Netflix method and just releasing them all at once. So that would kind of, I don't know, I just like that more as a distribution tactic.
I'm not a binger, so I like this method personally.
Yeah, I am a binger.
I kind of appreciate that we get to have the MCU discussion elongated.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
for sure. The only like one of the biggest caveats to releasing weekly is if you have a down episode. Or
Yeah, it does kind of suck the momentum out. I don't think this is a super down episode though. For me, it's like a 7.
Okay,
I agree with that.
I felt more like 6, but yeah, I get it.
I think I'd give it a 7.5 personally.
But yeah, if there's like a down episode, like Loki episode 3, right, where we were just like, whoa, like the chemistry between Loki and Sylvie was not good. The whole story and projection of this entire episode wasn't good. It just there were some good parts about it, but they completely, did a 180 in terms of quality in episode 4.
Yeah.
Side
But there
note,
was that-
I recently like binged Loki with mom, and see, episode 3 is way better when you binge it.
Really? That's good.
Yeah, way better.
See,
Like it's not, it's still the worst episode, but like it fits into place a lot more seamlessly than if you're just watching it week by week.
yeah. So
I think in the story it flows a lot better, especially like that one and Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Not what's it called? Captain Falcon. Captain
the
Falcon.
Falcon.
Winter Soldier.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I feel like that one like would have worked really well just watching all the way through. I haven't done it, but I feel like that's just kind of how they're kind of formatted, and it just feels like they're just taking their time. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of want to do that when we're closer to Cat 4.
Yeah.
True.
And the way the Netflix shows like Daredevil did, like, man, I didn't feel overwhelmed at all, or like the mystery was still there,
Mm-hmm.
episode to episode, and I definitely took breaks in between. So like, I don't know.
I agree that a lot of the way the shows are built, sometimes putting all the episodes out at once would benefit the show a little better, especially if there's a down episode. I could see maybe WandaVision might have been one of the better ones to come out episode because of the thematic structure they used per episode. But it's
I agree.
Yeah, but it still has like this progression where I think the quality would not drop at all for binging it. But it probably one of the better ones that released like week by week. Except like obviously the ending, the finale, they trashed that. But
It is not trash. It's
Okay,
pretty good. It's like not terrible.
it's not terrible, but we had high
We had
expectations. Like
immeasurably high expectations.
not immeasurably, but wait.
Oh yeah,
did
we did.
talk?
They were completely unrealistic, myself included.
Did we talk about the possibility like that Doctor Strange would have been in WandaVision if not for COVID?
I don't think we mentioned on the podcast,
Oh, okay.
but that is a thing that was apparently put out there.
Yeah. I mean, that's wild. Like how much different thing. I mean, if not for COVID, so many things would have released differently and all that stuff.
We have already seen like half of Phase 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spider-Man might actually be completely like half of it might be completely different if not for COVID. So
Yeah.
I feel like this whole dimensional or multiversal shift that's going on and the intensity being brought on Spider-Man at this time is probably because of COVID.
It could have definitely contributed. I don't know.
Yeah. But so yeah. Do you guys have anything else extra to add on What If episode 3?
Oh, go
it
ahead.
kind of soft confirmed what we already kind of figured, and that none of these what if scenarios take place in the same universe, because obviously, like, Cap was still in the ice in this universe, and it wasn't Peggy Carter.
Oh, true. Yes.
So
Yeah.
that kind of confirms it, but it obviously doesn't really deconfirm anything I expect to happen, like them all coming together through some multiversal shenanigans, which I still think is very likely.
Yeah. It
Same
is
here.
likely with one. Everybody's basically dead except Nick Fury in one universe and Loki.
And Captain Marvel.
Oh, true.
She
True.
popped up
Steve.
again.
I totally forgot she appeared. Oh my goodness.
And Steve.
I'm sorry that. Well, yes, Steve. Yes, he goes.
So Nick Fury has always had that buzzer thing with him that'll get Captain Marvel to come back. Why didn't he call her back for Avengers 1? Like,
Didn't need her.
It
didn't
was
need her, huh?
it was busted that day.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi was bad.
The Wi-Fi was bad.
No, honestly,
Because let me tell you, she probably could have just taken care of all of the Jatari or whatever by
yeah, but
herself.
the Avengers would see no need for themselves.
But all those people that died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess Nick Fury doesn't care.
Yeah, he's like, nah, save her for a rainy day. It's just lightly sprinkling.
Yeah.
Further proof that nobody takes Loki seriously.
True. Yep. Facts. It's real sad. Real sad. Kind of. All right, there you have it.
It became sad when we watched the Loki show.
Yeah, when we finally had some sympathy for him. Up until then, nobody cared about Loki. Well, not nobody. There's obviously Loki fans out there. Alright, well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen of the court. Our thoughts on What If Episode 3. Some of us enjoyed it more than others, but Marvel seems to be putting out some good content as they usually do. So, signing out, I'm Judge Shelton, or Judge Josh, or the Renegade, whatever you wish to call me. It's been real.
Asterisk.
Yeah, that's
Speak that truth.
No. All right.
It's been murdery.
It's been kind of murdery.
It's been a little green gooey.
Ugh.
Yummy.
Marvel,
I was kind of hoping we'd see the whole thing happen. Not gonna lie.
Oh man.
All right. Well, Marvel does Clue. Peace out.